Hello, I'm doing my video review for the TED Talk of Call to Leaders and Unethical Behaviors. So he starts out by asking the audience questions about how many have witnessed unethical behavior at work and who have been targeted. And it's just apparent that there's a lot of this going on in the world today and in the workforce. And 98% of employees reported experiencing unethical behavior at work, which I can relate that to my work experience over the summer in a factory, that there's definitely some unethical behaviors going on of just people cursing all the time at one another and acting childish and making fun of one another just to pass the time. I find it humorous. I didn't find it very, dwelling on the individual, but I could see it affecting their work. Common forms of unethical behavior is bullying, swearing, and just hurting someone's feelings. And he goes on to ask, why should employers care? Because it ultimately affects the performance of their employees. However, most of unethical behavior is legal. That it's not illegal to cuss at someone or to just just haze them, or to not be morally right to them. And ethical liability is a test of character. If you have good ethics, you're going to have great character, and you're just going to be a better individual in the workforce, and just as a person, you'll be more liked, and a lot of people will want to be around you and will just enjoy your company, and it will help theirs as well, their performance. As a leader, it's your job to be aware and not sweep it under the rug. So he gives an example of a lot of colleges, the Sandusky case, and he didn't talk about the Urban Meyer, but the Urban Meyer case, and just how there was a repetitive incident of people just sweeping incidences under the rug and just acting like they weren't happening just to protect their culture and their organization, or in that instance the college's reputation. But after a while it just builds up worse and worse, and it just, instead of being an isolated issue, it's a whole company issue now, or a university issue. So it's important to just, but it's a leadership problem at the end of the day. It's not a sports problem. It's the top leadership has to take control and take assertive steps to isolate the problem, to not let it leave from there. And in this instance, the code of ethics would just be empty words, and you don't want that to happen. It's the leaders must follow them and enforce them so that they're effective throughout the whole company. And also, there needs to be a sense of accountability throughout the organization and in leadership. And we need to remember that legal doesn't mean ethical. Just because something is legal doesn't mean that it's ethical, especially in business today, because there's a lot of business practices with pollution and other things of outsourcing that just because they're still legal doesn't mean they're ethical and what's best for the company or your employees. And your employees are your biggest asset. So, like I said, in my work experience it's called Warsaw Metals, it's a factory. We had a couple employees that they weren't very familiar with the shop or just working around with their hands. They just didn't have a whole lot of common sense, really. And there'd be people that would make fun of like the things that they did, or because some of the things they did, you just would wonder why they did them, because they clearly didn't know what they were doing. And they would mess up, and it would cause the company money for their mess ups. But it resulted in some people making fun of them or bullying them, and I could directly see their performance change, because then they would be hesitant on then when they were trying to decide whether they wanted to do something or not and how they worked. And I think it's important for the employer to try to discourage the bullying. I mean, he was kind of aware of it, but he would laugh at it at the same time, because, like I said, the things that they were doing or that they messed up doing pissed him off, first off, because it cost him money, because it was so stupid of an action. I don't know why you would do it when they were clearly told how to do something, and they just, I don't know what they were thinking when they made some of their mess ups. So he would laugh at it because he was kind of pissed, but he needs to condone it, or he needs to just stop it at the core and tell them that everything's going to be all right, and that they just need to keep working hard, and that they can fix it. But at the end of the day, I think that the company is working effectively now, and that there's less bullying, I would say, as people are getting more experience and they're not messing up or doing stupid shit or things. My bad, excuse me. And I found this video very entertaining and very beneficial to me, because I took away some of his things about how to be an effective leader and how to help others along the way when it comes to staying away from bullying and the stances on that. So thank you for your time.